Alright, so, if you thought you had the Premier League title race all figured out, well, Matchweek 12 just came along and completely shredded the script. Seriously, we saw some huge shocks, a ton of drama, and a massive power shift right at the very top of the table. So, let's get into it and break down the weekend that might have just changed everything.
Okay, let's just start right here because honestly, this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the feeling of this past weekend. We're not talking about just another round of games here. No, this was like a genuine earthquake at the top of the league. And you can bet we're going to be feeling the aftershocks from this one for a long, long time.
Right, so, a tectonic plate shift. How did the top of the table get completely turned on its head? Well, let's dig into the couple of absolutely massive results that really caused this whole reshuffle.
And this right here, this is the whole story in a nutshell. Look at the contrast, it's just wild. On one side, you've got the big guns, the giants, absolutely faltering. Manchester City, they go down to a really tough, up-and-coming Newcastle side. And then Liverpool, wow, they get completely dismantled 3-0 by Nottingham Forest. Just stunning. And then you look at the other side of the coin. You have Arsenal. Not only do they win, they do it in a huge North London derby, and they do it in style, just an emphatic victory. That's what you call a statement win.
So, what does all that chaos actually add up to? Well, it adds up to this. This number right here, 6. After all the smoke cleared, this is the number that really matters. Arsenal are now 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League. I mean, think about it. A week ago, this thing was neck and neck, super tight. Now, it's been blown wide open.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit and take a look at the full picture. Here are all the final scores from Matchweek 12, the results that made it such an unforgettable weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just about those top-of-the-table clashes. There was drama absolutely everywhere you looked. You had really solid road wins for Chelsea and Crystal Palace. Look at Everton grabbing a massive 1-0 win at Old Trafford. That's huge for them. And then you had these nail-biters, like Brighton just squeaking by Brentford. Every single match had its own little story this weekend.
All right, when you have a weekend packed with this much action, you're going to have some standout performances, right? So it's only fair we recognize them. Let's hand out a few awards for the best of the best from Matchweek 12.
Okay, first up, the upset of the week. And this is for that one result that just made everyone's jaw hit the floor. The one absolutely nobody saw coming.
And come on, it had to be this one, right? Nottingham Forest over Liverpool. You've got a newly promoted side, and they don't just beat a title contender like Liverpool, they take them apart. 3-0, at home. It's just an absolutely monumental result. A stunning upset that I guarantee you nobody had on their betting slip.
All right, next up, Player of the Week. This is for that one individual who was just on another level, head and shoulders above the rest.
And our Player of the Week is Crystal Palace's Eberechi Eze. My goodness, he was just electric to watch this weekend. He was a constant threat, so creative, and the skill and flair he puts on display, it was just an absolute joy. A no-brainer, really. Totally deserved.
Okay, goal of the week time. And look, there were some fantastic goals scored, for sure. But there was one strike that just really stood out from the crowd.
And that belongs to Kieran Dewsbury Hall. What a hit. An absolute screamer from way outside the box. Just a moment of pure individual magic that completely lit up the entire game. All right, now for the team of the week. Which squad put together the best collective performance? The one that just executed their game plan perfectly?
I mean, could it be anyone else? Seriously, it's gotta be Arsenal. To be that dominant in a North London derby, with all that pressure, to win 4-1 and send yourselves clear at the top of the league, yeah, they are, by a mile, our team of the week. And for a final award, Match of the Week. This goes to the most entertaining, back-and-forth, edge-of-your-seat game of the whole weekend. The one you just couldn't take your eyes off of.
And that goes to Newcastle versus Man City. What a game. It was so intense. The stakes were incredibly high. And of course, it delivered one of those key, shocking results that, like we've been talking about, completely flipped the script on this whole title race.
So, where do we go from here? Well, the thing about the Premier League is, it just never stops. So let's look ahead and see what's coming up in Match Week 13. Now, you'll see a lot of predictions for goals here, and yeah, that's usually a safe bet in this league. But just ignore all that for a second and look at that last fixture on the list. Chelsea versus Arsenal.
That is the one, a massive London derby. Can the league leaders keep this incredible run going, or is this the week where the champions, Man City, and the rest of the chasing pack finally get a chance to claw back some ground? That's the big one to watch.
So, when you take a step back, after a weekend that just scrambled everything we thought we knew, it all really boils down to one final massive question for the rest of the season.
You look at the situation, the champions are stumbling, Arsenal have a 6-point lead, they've got all the momentum, and they just demolished their biggest rivals. For the first time in a long time, the pieces really seem to be falling into place for them. So the question that's on everyone's mind is this finally Arsenal's year? I guess we're all just going to have to watch and find out.